Oh no, he has the high ground. I am doomed. Or am I? How much of a problem is that for me? So he can threaten me with a point. I can threaten his legs. So the thing is, depending on the height difference, this is actually not, in a one-on-one duel, this is actually not a dramatic advantage. Because here's the thing, normally you can target everything. If I'm just gonna get far enough that I'm within measure in the sense that I can hit you well with my blade. So I can hit your head, I can hit your torso, I can hit your legs, your feet, everything. How much of me can you hit?
Let's see. Head, arm, torso, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So
and
basically,
not even the whole torso.
Half of my body is not accessible to him to attack, whereas I have everything. I mean, I may have to reach a little bit for the head, depending on the height and everything. And these are exactly the same length blades, by the way. So there's no reach advantage either way. These are the same. It's not super difficult to defend the head. And I still have, you know, everything here. And the legs are pretty hard to defend. You can counter cut against a leg cut.
Like that.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Static blocks against leg cuts aren't great because if you do this kind of number here, chances are this will blow through. So normally, at least in HEMA, you do like a counter cut into it, or more commonly, you do a leg void. You just move the leg out of the way. How would you do that? How do you generally respond to leg cuts?
Well, the way I would see a cut coming like that, usually if it's really low, and if you were at the same height, I would try to step out the way. For one thing,
so leg void.
Or sometimes I would like move the leg also, just simply raise it while attacking. But from this, I mean, yeah, I guess I could just lift up the leg also. I mean, it's very low to the ground, but I would have to see it for one thing, which is a little bit tricky. If I'm headhunting here, and then you're less, I mean, you can easily just snipe in and go here. Yeah. It's kind of a weird thing to to deal with.
The other issue is normally when you do a leg cut, you go pretty low to not expose your head. So if I do that here, I'm completely outside of your reach. Like I can basically completely avoid your attack by just going low and just sniping your ankles, essentially. So at that point, I'm completely safe and you're kind of screwed. However, where this becomes a much more significant advantage is if you're on a battlefield. If you have units and one unit has to charge up a hill, that's going to be a much different story, because then they're already getting exhausted just charging up that hill or climbing up or whatever. And depending on the footing, this could be a potential issue. Like I'm here a little bit. I mean, I'm definitely limited. Like here, I can potentially slide off there. So depending on the footing, if you kind of on a flat hilltop, like you have a pretty good platform there. Like I'm a little more limited here, so there is that. This could potentially be a disadvantage. But in a one-on-one, if I'm just going up here, it's not gonna bother me that much. But units, yeah, that's a different story. Especially if they hold a line, they have shields. With a shield, depending on the type of shield, you may be able to cover your legs pretty easily. Maybe just the feet stick out or whatever. Not that big of a deal. But in a one-on-one,
it's still going to come down to who can use the terrain better, the tactics of the individual. I mean, yeah, I can see some tricky things, some really messed up stuff that somebody up here could do. I mean, yeah, you're down there, I can harass you like that, keep you down like that. But again, the problem becomes reach. You don't have to do that much to keep me from missing. And then not only that, I mean, I'm a nice big target up here. And my effective power ends right here. Once it starts going like that, I pretty much have to hope for gravity to continue the blow. But again, look at the arc. The arc just dies like right at this point. Even if I hit, it's more of a graze than anything else.
And as soon as I got this, I could basically pull you off here, which is gonna suck.
or pull me into the blade or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's some people would say, oh, you're up here and you're swinging down, so you got that gravity. No, that's only if I'm charging down.
Yes.
Which again is what the army is for. 101, now you got to worry about what he's doing this way, that way. I got to worry about that, you know, tactics like this, and he could be trying to force me to get off of here just so he, and again, one good whack to the legs and dealing with a strike down here. I mean, maybe, you know, depending on the angle it's coming in, I could probably do something like that. Yeah. But again, notice I have to move in. Look, all you gotta do, reach that arm right over, you know, and just pull me down, hack my legs, all that. I mean, yeah, looks like I got a good lucky strike, but if he sees that coming, okay, yeah, you're swinging this way, right? You remember, and I sweep in, boom. If he knows what he's doing, he can stop me from doing this and cut me, and look where his hand is. Yeah. And I'm already overreached.
Pull and thrust.
I could just come right down and down. Yeah, so I gotta be careful about that. I'm having to reach to get him. He at normal height can just snipe at my legs. I gotta stand on these. If he like gets me at my ankle, or worse, right here in the back of the knee, or the muscle supporting my knee up here, I'm going straight down. And as I'm going down,
yep.
So it's not that I have that great advantage.
You do have like there's a bit of a power advantage in the sense if you're trying to strike somebody in the head, you have to accelerate it sooner to reach full velocity by the time you hit the head. If you hit a lower target, you can really keep powering it to the point where you reach maximum velocity, say here. So you could potentially deliver a more powerful cut in that sense, but only if you do it with good structure. If you do this kind of number, it's gonna suck. Yeah. So you still have to like go pretty low with this. So like regular attacks to the torso or head for you become like a leg shot for me against somebody who's at the same height. Whereas a leg shot for me is like attacking your torso. So this is no problem at all for me. I don't even have to do this kind of thing. But if I do, I am completely safe. Yeah. So at this point, I can just harass you and just be like, you
and I'm just
do
like,
shit.
Yeah, doing this. And what I would have to do is I basically have to come down to his level, or at least close to it. So now I'm just like, okay, he's hacking at my legs. I got to come down here.
Yeah.
And now if I'm down here,
this is a pretty compromised position.
Yeah, because now unless you're really good at moving at such low gravity positions, I'm screwed. My mobility has really been messed up because now I'm just squaring myself here. Meanwhile, he can just move around as much as he wants, or worse, take advantage of the fact that I'm like this. Oh, he can pull me in. He can lock me down. And what am I gonna do? So again, it's not as big an advantage as they would say in a certain, you know, science fiction soap opera. It's, you know, I guess you could use it if you know how to use it, but it's not that great.
There's one situation where I can really see this being an advantage if you have a pole arm.
Oh, hell, okay.
I mean, a pole arm against a shorter weapon is always an advantage, of course. Let's assume this is a halberd or something and I have the handle here. So now I can really strike down there, and then you're not going to be able to get up there, and I'm okay here, and I can thrust, and I can really control it from here as long as I'm safe from your blade. So as long as I don't have to deal with that, but I can really see like I'm not liking the position of my leg here. Like I have to be pretty much back weighted just to make sure that I can get the leg out of the way, because this kind of thing is just not it's just not great. Basically, I would have to bet on you making a mistake, or you being kind of sluggish, like you attack my leg and I just get it just out of the way, and then I go for the face, stuff like that. That could maybe work, but it's hard. This is not an easy thing. Like just because I'm up here, I don't feel safe here.